early and I'm kind of in the dark. So I'm just going live because I want to record what's happening. My thing was going round and around, so I don't know if I was live there, but yeah, whole new levels of embodiment are happening in my body, and I know that this is an amazingly important and beautiful time to record these unfoldments. And it's kind of hard to explain what's happening, but basically our divine humanity, which has been pretty much held apart from itself. Thanks, honey. So feed Madeline and then we'll wake up Layla. We're dog sitting for the cutest little dog for our friend, but Madeline needs to come first, and then I think she can handle it gracefully. Anyway, that's the order of operations. Madeline first, and then Layla. So, anyway, as many of you know, my story, it's been since 1983 that I've been trying to get the fullness of my multidimensional self into the fallen architecture of Earth, attempting to embody it into this DNA. And it has been a 37-year ride through hell. It's like this Earth substance, the way the DNA has been turned against itself, the way artificial intelligence blocks have been put between the lover and beloved within the DNA, has made it nearly impossible to embody the original divine humanity of my solar Rishi self. Now, all humanity, I'm talking about every human being, comes from the solar Rishi. This is where all of us were generated and created as divine angelic humans. And so this divine angelic humanity has been very much like a puzzle. We got exploded on Tara, and that put our puzzle pieces, our body parts strewn kind of across the universal time matrix, right? We got attacked and invaded on Gaia in the 7th dimension. That destroyed our divine humanity at the 7th dimensional level. Then Tara was exploded, and then the electric wars created so much damage in the universe that they actually made the Earth unable to house life at all. So our only chance for the reclamation of our divine royal heritage as trinitized beings of God incarnate, trinitized beings, was to come into the fallen Earth, which is a result of the massive explosions of Tara, Tiamat, and a planet created by cataclysm. So at least we had planet Earth as our hell realm to go into, where we would excavate eventually our heavenly bodies, right? But what happened is, in the electric wars, planet Earth was totally damaged, so we couldn't even get in here. So we had to do repair work on the Earth so that we could come here to alchemize and birth our true angelic divine human forms within this hell realm of fallen Earth. So it's been a heck of a journey, and this lifetime, this beautiful lifetime, is the lifetime where it all comes back. It's an incredible lifetime as we come into this cycle of reclamation, because we have the most powerful, supportive, loving forces of our founder races supporting us to remember who we are, to bring our divine humanity back together. Now, if you think about right now, we are remembering the vertical column that links Earth to Tara to Gaia. So the third, the fifth, and the seventh dimension are being lined up so that we can bring in the fullness of our Trinity as love, wisdom, and power. Our Trinity as bird, dolphin, and forgetting the feline. Don't forget the feline. Madeline just meowed right when I was about to forget the feline. Our progenitors are the cetaceans, the avians, and the felines. They are not. Sorry, Frank is comments from the peanut gallery here. Thanks, honey. Thanks for feeding her. So, Madeline's from the Emerald Order of the Lyran felines, of the great white lions. She has such a royal presence, man. She's like as big as the house sometimes. It's crazy how big she is. But yeah, so our founding beings are felines, cetaceans, and avians. And that trinitized wave of all three of those beautiful founding beings is our divine humanity. So, and what's interesting is this, you might say, this womb upon which is enabled the convergence of this holy trinity of all dimensions of our being, right, is now available for us. Before, we couldn't even do this puzzle. You couldn't get all three of these things together in a body. You couldn't do it. But now we can, because we have so much support. It's kind of like this picture behind me. The solar Rishi are cradling this incubation chamber, which is enabling us to break the false bonds in the DNA and repair, restore, and reconnect the trinitized form. Okay? And the Trinity wave is a wave that enables a connection all the way back to source. All the way back to source. The bi wave blocks the connection to source. The Trinity wave opens right back into source. And so we're becoming Trinity stargates. Every human being is destined to become a Trinity stargate. That was our original form. So, anyway, just announcing this, I actually wrote a blog post on my blog at sarahhopeadams.com. So you can read this. And I also put some information from the Ascension Glossary about the solar rishis and our founding. Human beings were brought to you by the solar rishi. So you can read about our founding progenitors and this whole beautiful confluence of all these beautiful strands of identity that make up the divine human. So, Frank's feeding Madeline, and the world is being put back in right order. Soon we will feed and walk Layla. Babe, I smell something burning. Did you turn it off?
I'm making some tea.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so I will stop here. And, I guess before I stop, I do want to say that, I know this is a lot of it might give you a headache. It's a lot of information. And if it doesn't apply, if it doesn't really, isn't something that you understand, don't worry about it. Just let the vibration of what I'm bringing. It's pretty much like the good news, right? Who we really are is returning to us. We are now in a state where the true rehabilitation of who we truly are can happen. That's really all you have to know. Who we truly are is now able to begin its reconstruction. That's what's true. And so if you found that your life just hasn't gotten off the ground, as far as you're connecting into a right livelihood, an economic stream, something that you can go forward with in the marketplace of capitalism and stand behind and do and be excited about, if that hasn't happened for you, you're probably holding space for the return of the trinitized form. Not all of us on earth, a very few of us on earth are the placeholders for the return of our divine humanity. Many of us get to go on and have a human life. But those of you out there that are the galactic frontline mothers of humanity, you know who you are. You're the ones that have been pregnant with something, but you don't know what, for as long as you can remember, because you've been holding space for the return of the solar Rishi and the reclamation of divine embodiment. And you knew that until everything had been done in the galaxy and the universe to enable the return of the solar Rishi, that nothing in this earth mattered to you, that nothing was important to you. There was no job more important than doing the emotional body healing for the earth, the galaxy, the universe, to connect these portals so that the solar Rishi could get in here. That has been your main job. So pat yourself on the back for that massive job that makes every other job even possible, even worthwhile. Because the midwifers, we are the midwifers of the new midwives of the new earth. And that has been our main job. And that job eclipsed the importance of any role we could play as a human being on planet Earth. So I say this because I know what it feels like to have almost no connection to this reality in a way that means anything to your ego or your personality. And I just want to put my arms around you and say, it's been a long haul holding space for the return of the solar Rishi, but we did it. The portals are open. The divine human is being remembered. And so don't feel like a failure if you haven't made a mark on the world in the way you wanted to as a 3D human, because you are a midwife of the new earth, and that has been your main job. I will tell you, I have been 37 and a half years in the wilderness, working for the return of divine humanity, for the Milky Way galaxy to reconnect to Lyra, to the royal houses of Lyra, to Andromeda, and to our ascending matrix. And that job eclipses the importance of every other job. When you have that job will overshadow everything in your human self. You will not have a career. You will not have a connection to this life. That's hardly anything, because you have to stay expansive enough to get your hands all the way up to the seventh higher heavens. And you have to hold your hands on the seventh higher heavens as you exist in a human body, watching everyone else manifest and create while you do pretty much nothing. But you're doing everything. You're holding the birth of the new earth. So I'm speaking to the galactic frontliners who are my best friends. And maybe some of you I don't even know yet. And of course I'm speaking to all of this beautiful human race. You know, it's really important to know that every one of us is a precious gem. Every one of us is made from this glorious divinity. And as we blossom back into this divinity, it's going to be miraculous. And it's going to be tumultuous, because the ego has to die to all the false bonds in the genetic code that have blocked our divinity. So there's going to be a lot of death and tremendous birth. And they're both there side by side, dismantling the beast machine and the rising of the goddess queen. They happen side by side. And the goddess queen holds space for the sacred marriage of the masculine and feminine throughout our DNA. And I see my beloved Tristan with me. Hello, Tristan and Star Family. Ah. Okay, I'm going to get started working on our musical collaboration. I think I'll start it today. Tristan and I are playing with creating videos together, music videos, where we put his video and my video on the screen, and then Frank and me singing, and sometimes the puppets sing along with us, This is like a virtual choir. So if you have a desire to be in our virtual choir, I'm loving these projects. Get in touch with me. I'm just playing, doing this because I'm a choir director who wants to gather the world to sing. But while we're in COVID, I have to gather the world on my computer to sing. So you just send me a video, clap your hands to get in sync, send me a video, and I sync up with it. I add cello, I add voice. Tristan can add guitar and slide guitar and electric guitar, and who knows? I'm speaking for you, Tristan. I don't know exactly how much of this menagerie you want to be involved in. But anyway, it's great news, guys. This finally comes, the ability to feel safe in the body, to find safety in the body as a multidimensional divine angelic human is becoming possible. Last night I had a massive panic attack, and because of the solar Rishi starting to connect into my solar plexus, I was able to take myself out of the fear and create a pathway all the way down to the earth. I've never, in 37 years of suffering from panic attacks, I've never had a pathway out. I would have to leave the restaurant and go, tap myself or whatever. This way I stayed in the restaurant and I was able to create a pathway in the body. This is 37 years in coming. So this love of our divine mother and the solar Rishi, our founding fathers and mothers, is making possible our liberation from fear, being held in love, even here in the underworld. We are re-encrypting the underworld to be heaven as we migrate this whole reality into our fifth dimensional new earth with the help of our beautiful founding, loving higher selves up there. Those felines and those kitty cats and those cetaceans and those avians sending their beautiful flame of gold, violet, and blue. Hi, Layla. Do you want to be on the live? Come here. Come up. Come up here. Be on the live. Come on. Hi. Oh, this is Layla. Oh, she's shaking. Layla, it's okay, honey. All right, we're going to go walk Layla. All right, much love, everybody. Much love, Tristan. Ciao, ciao. Oh, honey, don't get her near Madeline.
I won't.
And let's take her for a walk.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, everyone.